In this video, we're going to look at the jQuery API and start actually using it with the ready method. So here we are on the jQuery API website, which is api.jquery.com. API, again, stands for Application Programmers Interface. And this is a listing of everything that jQuery offers you. It's quite good documentation. There's example code on each of these, and you can learn a lot just by reading through this, frankly, massive page. But what we're going to look at right now is the ready method. So I'm going to scroll down this alphabetical list until we get to here. Here's the ready method. So as you can see here, it specifies a function to execute when the DOM is fully loaded. When you're working with the DOM, that is, when you're working with any web page, you want to make sure that before you try and do anything to it, all of its elements are fully loaded. So if you're working with a page of some complexity where there are lots of scripts, lots of CSS files, lots of things that could be interacting with the page and affecting how it loads, you need to make sure that all that business is taken care of before you start trying to do anything to it with your code. And so jQuery offers this ready method, which is a cross-browser way of making sure that everything is all ready to go before you actually start working. So let's take a look at it in action. I have this ready page called ready.html, and it's loaded up over here. I'll expand this page again so you can see that that's really what we have going on. And now let's take a look at what's in here. It's all script tags before the body tag, with jQuery at the top, so we can be sure that everything is actually going to have access to jQuery. So I have here 3 script blocks, and this is the most verbose way that jQuery is typically used. So we have the jQuery $selector, which is grabbing the document. And then on that, we are using the ready method. And the ready method takes a function. So you can see here's one underlined parentheses, here's the other one here. And in those parentheses, we have our anonymous function, which will actually do something once the page is fully ready to go. So in this case, all we're doing is logging a message to the console that says, this code will not run until the DOM is fully loaded. Thanks, jQuery. This block does not use the ready method. It's just immediately logging to the console whenever the browser gets to it, irrespective of whatever the load state is. And then this one uses a shorter way of specifying the same thing. This is kind of a shortcut to the ready method. It's just the jQuery selector with a function passed to it instead. Instead of document here, and then calling ready specifically, jQuery can take an anonymous function and sort of do the same thing. So if you're looking at pages that use jQuery, sometimes they'll use the $, sometimes they'll spell out jQuery like this. But in either case, either of these will work, and they'll work equivalently. So this one is also logging a message to the console. And here's what I want to show you. So over here on this page, we're all loaded up, and I'm going to open Firebug to the JavaScript console. And I'm going to reload this page. And now we can see what order the messages came in. Even though our code blocks went in this order, the messages came in with this second one appearing first because it doesn't wait. It just goes. So if in this block of code we were trying to do something with the page before it was fully ready, we could end up with errors in the script block. These two wait until the DOM is ready, and then they go. And you can use this ready function, or its shortcut, as many times as you want. You can call it multiple times in the same code block if that seems appropriate, like this. You can call it in as many code blocks as you want, in as many external files as you want, as long as jQuery loads first. But anytime you interact with the document object model and you're using jQuery, you need to use this ready function to make sure that everything's ready to go. It doesn't matter which of these forms you use, just make sure you use it. Now you can see some exciting stuff over in Firebug here. Close that. We'll expand this window out. So here's the documentation for ready. And here is the overall jQuery API at api.jquery.com. So now you know where the documentation is, and you know how to use jQuery's ready method to make sure that your JavaScript will execute only after your document object model is totally loaded and ready to go.